Board games, board games, it's what we're talking about in some manner. Board games and mentorship. I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. And over here, well, over there is the person I call a Nederlander, because even though in English we call them Dutch, to me that does not make quite so much sense, because the country's the Netherlands. So why is it Dutch? That's just a bit. I demand to know this answer. It's just quite weird. Anyway, DutchYoda has a beard, and we're going to talk about a flip and write that's been put onto the Kickstarter website. We'll probably talk about this project that will launch and launch. I put myself into a corner with launch.
Oops.
Staunch. Oh yeah. And Yoda has been a very staunch person at carrying on. And now I come to the end of this song. Board games and mentorship is what we're talking about. Board games and mentorship. I'm not gonna shout. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever
everybody.
you are. I am Bez, and this is episode 381 of Bezzy Beats and Board Game Blether. And there are 19 days until I stop streaming in the mornings, and I'll take literally a 3-week break. And we were just chatting a moment ago about how, I'm trying to work out my plans. I am super. I'm thinking, like, just if I get enough people to join me throughout the night, because it's America time then, and Australia time, maybe the Australians will want to join me in the evening. Maybe I can even get some Americans that I've not had on the show that were vaguely interested. Maybe they would want to join me for half an hour just for a special thing. I don't know. Anyway, but I am thinking potentially 25 hours, but I don't want to talk myself into something and then really, really regret it. So I'm not promising. I'm going to, but this is not just about me. Today's not meant to be about me. Today's meant to be about this person here. Nominally, I am mentoring you. I don't know. This is like the last time that we're meeting nominally. Although, we'll still meet as part of a group, but just because it was part of the Bezzy Beats and Board Game Blether and coming up to the end. And so there's, but how do you feel? Has it been useful?
Definitely. I learned a lot. So
excellent.
Thank you for that.
You are very welcome. And today I am literally just now clicking the link. It says, this is a private preview. I will show everyone my reactions and just go through it and say what I think, and hopefully be able to give some sort of advice. Going back, you started off, you were making this game called Making Lovely Suits. Was that what it was called, Making Lovely Suits?
No, it started as early on the flip and write. That started with Idle Michael's game jam, which he has coming up, I think, next month, 2.0.
Number 2.
Number 2, and then number 2 is special because I think you need to design 2-player games or something like that.
But something that's playable with Michael versus the chat.
Yeah,
but all the things will be revealed later.
Yeah, and then.
And this was back in December around Christmas time. That there was everyone make a game based on blank and write, and that was all the things. So you could make a flip and write, you could make a roll and write, you could make a read and write, which is what I did. But so then you wanted to
Dunstan was talking about
of the. Sorry.
Yeah. Then Matt Dunstan was talking about mentorship, and we were both in the channel. You were saying, I'm interested in being a mentor, and I was like, I need a mentor because I have never fully designed the game, at least finished one design. And yeah, from one thing led on to another, and now at first we removed the theme and I just called it Lovely Suit Drawing, because that's an acronym for LSD. So that was just for fun. And now it's called Party Planner, and
it's been tweaked a tiny bit. And hello, Rob. Yeah. It is lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us. I was actually just talking about you yesterday. How lovely you are. Only nice things, I promise. But yes, this Party Planner, it feels like the basic rules as, the rules as written. I don't know if they've even changed at all, but certainly the design, there's been a lot of changes in what you get in the grid, what you might get at certain points of the game, how the map changes things. So it's like, even though, the way the affordances of the player aren't necessarily different based on the rules themselves, but the affordances are different based on the setup of the board and everything. Yep. And it feels like I'm really impressed with the themes that you've come up with, and it feels like, you're set to do what we might call a humble Kickstarter, and we're going to have a look at it. And yeah, we'll talk about everything. So before we get on, let's have the regular sections for 10 minutes or so. And first, let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. What have been some of your recent highlights? I have played at least 3 games that I can think of. I'm actually going to... Yeah, these are some rolling rights, not that one. Here. So I played this one. This was designed by Sarah from Big Girl Games, where you're basically trying to get 5 different things in a row, and you're putting dominoes together. That was quite a nice little thing. I got the rules wrong because it was explained in a slightly confusing way. So I thought I had 11 points, but I only had 8. Which was the same. Literally everyone had either 7 or 8. So I kind of joined 1. But we had some ideas for having other methods of scoring, because it's not great if everyone's very close. Then we also played my game, which doesn't look quite so exciting because it's literally just letters. And I'm still trying to work out how to make it better, but this is another flip and write that you don't need a printed sheet for. So I'm trying to explore things that you don't need printed sheets for. That was a couple of things that I played on my stream. The other thing that I played that maybe people might not know about is Keyforge. So I play, as in, I expect people to know what Keyforge is, but just not necessarily that. I played it last night. I played 2 games last night. We played the same decks as a week ago with Layla. And yes, we won 1 game each. We swapped the decks. So last week we had particular deck and we played 2 games and we won 1 game each. This time we swapped the decks and we won 1 game each. But I think one of them is slightly better, but it might be interesting to now play them with the chains and sort of start playing them with the other decks that we've got to. I'm really excited by this. And morning, Alex. Stop trolling, you troll. But you are brilliant, even though you're such a troll.
Well, that's the title of the game, just letters.
Huh. That would be a good name for a game. I'm going to write that down. Where's my pen gone? Sorry about this. I like that name. Okay, so what were some of your highlights?
So
Yoda,
last Thursday, I got my first vaccine.
Yes, I saw that. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine. I had a little sore spot here on my shoulder. That's about it. And that was 24 hours and then it was gone again. So there was no issues with that. And I went squashing this morning.
You played squash?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Well, for the first time since well, the pandemic. Basically, since everything started, since first lockdown in March last year. So yeah, I regularly play that on Thursday with colleagues, and now I played it this morning with my son, and he lost every game. I don't know how. He should be fitter than me. He should be faster than me. He played baseball, so he should be able to hit the ball properly and not miss all the time. So I don't know what happened, but I won easily.
Wow. And I am quite amazed because, yeah, everyone obviously reacts differently. I have myself, and I know that most people that I've spoken to have had a bit of, fatigue, and I didn't get any terrible headaches, although Chris and Layla did, but I guess it's very different. There's no way that I could have gone off doing anything super active. Certainly not playing squash, I don't think. But that's awesome to hear that your body is clearly strong enough. Your lymphocytes are able to battle this denatured version of the thing. So congratulations on having an excellent body in terms
Well,
of defense, in terms of white blood cells.
well, I'm also losing weight and about 1 kilogram per week. So
Wow.
I'm happy with that.
That sounds really positive, like a very slow but gradual thing. As you know, I'm not saying that I don't want to make this a thing of shaming anyone for body size, but if you feel like you would be happier or healthier, and it's
Yeah, for me
always
it's
up to
mostly a
you.
health issue. For me, it's mostly since I was diagnosed as diabetic. Then that was one thing that the doctor said: try to lose weight. So that's what I'm doing.
And talking about recent highlights, Alex had a lovely meeting last night and persuaded himself to completely overhaul a design in the next 2 weeks. So that was fun. Excellent. And I look forward to hearing about how that game goes. Rob said, been to the market this morning. Ooh, fancy. Bought some veg, bread, pastries, meat, and a nice coffee. Also interacted with genuine, real human people. I like this as a start to a Saturday. That sounds fantastic.
I met real people as well this morning. That was fun.
And yeah, if there's any other highlights that people want to share, then please go ahead. Otherwise,
I got my first 18xx game.
Ooh, nice, fancy.
I'm planning to play that on Monday.
I'll make you small again.
Yeah.
So, questionably quick questions. First question, as always, what time is it? Where are you? Here it is 10:13. I am a little bit north of Finsbury Park in London, in UK, in Europe, on the same planet as everyone watching, I assume.
Yeah, I'm still in Lelystad, the Netherlands. It's 11:13 right now. And yeah, basically I'm at the same spot. You can find me every time I'm on the stream.
And you are 1 hour ahead of me.
Yeah.
11:13. Yep. Because that's the way parts of Europe work. But remember, Europe's got multiple time zones. Don't get confused.
Yeah. Because Dina is 1 hour even further.
And yeah, real life humans in meat space? You mean playing 18NL in 18 Netherlands?
I think it exists, but it's a print and play, and you also have 18Ks, so that's 18 cheese. It's also the Netherlands. It's also print and play, but I haven't tried any of that. So this will be my first 18xs. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Let me ask everyone a quick question that I've not asked for a terribly long time. What is your first and second and potentially third choice of a color in a game? And if you could have any pattern of meeple, like literally any pattern, it doesn't need to be just a solid color. What kind of pattern would you go for?
Pattern.
Like in terms of solid colors, I know this might seem very strange to people. Obviously, red is a color that I like to play, but actually, number one choice is often purple. And then I like those kinds of colors between purple and red. So I like purple and red. I like pink, and then after that, I like, okay, if there's a nice wooden color, like actual natural wood, unpainted, I like that color. Then those are my top three.
Yeah, for me, number one would be green, number two would be orange, and number three would probably be the color that's not being picked. Basically, it's just if it has not the basic colors that you're used to, and then I will pick one of those strange colors.
I think that if I could get literally any color, I think I would go for a sort of tartan. But I know that tartans are normally quite often greeny, bluey colors with maybe a little yellow stripe. I think I would choose a tartan, especially for me, that was like a red background with like maybe a pink on it and purple and maybe like a little line of I'm going to say a little line of black, like just one of the little thin lines. So yeah, I think I would go for a tartan patterned meeple if I could go for literally any pattern on my meeple.
I think I would go for, maybe it's a little bit of a cheat, but a plate pattern. So squares and lines, like it's wearing a plaid shirt.
And Alex has another question. If you had an egg right now, what would you do? I would put it to the side because
I don't want to save it for lunch.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do have. Is this egg suddenly appearing in my hand? I mean, if it magically appeared in my hand, I'd probably touch it. I'd feel it. Okay, is this real? Okay, I'm going to. I would put it into here, which is empty except it had a die in it, and yeah, this. So at least if I put it in this container, it won't roll away and crack, because that would be the worst thing. If I
Rob asks an important question. What sort of egg is it?
I was assuming a chicken egg or a duck egg, but maybe it's a fish egg. If it was a fish egg, I would just eat it straight away.
Yeah, frog egg.
Wow.
Snake eggs.
Frog spawn. It hums and slightly vibrates when you hold it. Oh, it's warm.
Wait, what?
Alex taking us on another story adventure.
Is it a dinosaur egg?
Maybe it's about to crack. Okay, I'm continuing to hold it. I feel like we should have some sorts of regular Alex takes us on a choose your own adventure, or Alex plays a role-playing game. You know what? For my episode 400, Alex, you should do some sorts of two-player or dungeon mastery thing, like
sounds like fun.
Like your wee whimsical scenario.
I would love to design a choose your own adventure someday. But I'm not that great at storytelling, so that's quite important for choose your own adventure.
Okay, great. Let's do it. Let's talk offline. Maybe tell me how late you can do it, because I am more and more thinking, there's a lot of things that I could do for 25 hours. So I don't think 25 hours is so unreasonable, because if like 2 of those hours is just me playing Roots and, playing some games on Board Game Arena, so be it. But I imagine, there might be some Australians who might Americans in the middle of the night. Oh, after a moment, it floats upwards and vanishes through the ceiling. mean-
Okay, I need to warn my son because he's right above me.
I would, I'd be worried. I would tell you what's happened, and then I'd race up to check into Zach's room, and yeah. But I think I would start, as it's floating upwards, I make a check, and then I quickly take photos with my camera of this strange floating egg. If I'm fast enough, I don't know. So let's move on from the questionably quick questions. We're not doing this today, Alex.
5.
That seems like a good number. I think you succeed. Okay, and in case people wanted to know... okay. If that's... Yep, sure, if that's okay. And yeah, Rob just randomly reminds us that, of course, a lot of 18-something games do exist. For example, 18 Netherlands, yes.
Yep.
But let's call that... Does this look Netherlandish?
No, that's German.
Oh.
1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100,
So it
500. Yeah, that's German.
Man, my German is terrible. I didn't recognize that straight away. I'm slightly disappointed in myself. Are these actually Netherlandish words? Nederlandsche Rijnspoorweg Maatschappij.
Ja, Nederlandse Rijnspoorwegmaatschappij.
Spoorwegen Koning Willem III.
Spoorwegkoning Willem III.
Derde.
Yeah, the third.
What does spoorwegen mean?
Spoorwegen, railroads.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, yes. Thank you for that short Dutch lesson. Almelo Salzbergen. Am I saying it's okay?
Almelo Salzbergen.
Almelo Salzbergen. So you don't pronounce the N at the end?
Well, you should, but I don't.
So, mit Scheppele tot exploitatie van spoorwegen.
Maatschappij tot exploitatie van staatsspoorwegen.
Wow, that sounds so different to what I said. Yeah. Anyway, that was our derailing. And so, back to the main topic. And as I get rid of that, of course, please feel free to comment, ask questions, follow, and we will look at this Kickstarter. Are you happy for me to share the link so that people can see it in their own page? And offer?
It's just plain text. I need to finish the images and videos to add them into it as well. So I will do that this weekend because I have a long weekend. And I don't know how it's in the UK, but for us with Pentecost, we have the Monday off as well.
And yeah, it's so weird. I mean, you wouldn't think that, hey, let's not use that word here. What did I say? Don't say Dutch, say Netherlandish. But yeah, trying to redo the English language. Anyway, so let's look at this. This is a private preview, blah, blah, blah. Let's see it.
It's very bland.
I will get
no image yet.
So you've got the 17 quid goal. So
yeah,
let me
20,
look at
20 euros, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 20 euros. That makes a lot more sense. So 10 people buying the game. Story. Things I've learned during this pandemic is that we are a social species. We get energy from being around other people. This is the premise of Party Planner. Get people together and spread happiness. I like that. Party Planner, find food, deliver drinks, grab games, and make music. Plan the best parties in town. Is that the thing that CD, you and I came up together for?
Yeah, it's the same text on BGG.
I feel like that's a solid thing. Okay, you are a party planner. It's your job to host the best parties in town. Okay, you need to make sure that there are food, drinks, music, and games. Those are your ingredients for a great party. But you need to have people and venue. I'm going to have a quick skim first. You need
that's okay.
Quote Bez. So presumably this is going to be graphics.
Yeah.
You can. Oh, if you want one of my images, do you want an image of me, or is that superfluous?
That's okay. Okay, I need some sort of image that you regularly use.
Here's a link to my press thing where, and I will just link it in the chat as well as the private thing. So that bit, yeah, it will be an image. The title and subtitle don't suggest that this is a tabletop game. That's actually quite true. Yeah, maybe Party Planner, a flip and write game. That's a good point, because with the title, you can have something much longer than what you currently have.
I'm going to change my profile image as well, because currently it's just Yoda, and it should be a picture of me.
How to play. Earn and store resources. So you're going to have this as a kind of comic style thing. Prepare for a party and send invites. Move to and arrange venues. Spread happiness. And then you are going to make a how to play video, I guess?
Yeah, I already did the recording. I only have to do the editing.
Link two things. Stretch goals. €20. Game funded. €40. New map. €60. New map. €80. Professional proofread of the rules. Why did you choose this order for these things?
No specific reason, actually. I'm not sure if I'm going to show them all, just show one and tease the next one.
I mean, specifically, I kind of agree with Rob that getting the professional proofreading feels like more of a priority. So I wonder if that should come a wee bit earlier.
Yeah.
I love this quote from Marky Mark. I think that's a really strong quote. I think that, honestly, you should have this closer to the top, potentially even higher than the above the game. I do wonder also if this story bit, if this introduction is super necessary. Yeah, because I feel like you want to have the validation, especially if it's just a short thing, like love the theme, love that win condition, got to spread that happiness. That just seems like a really strong thing. Get that top. About the project, it will be a print and play only. There are no plans to make this a box version. You'll receive a zip file with all the PDFs. There should be an S here.
I see it.
Those will include printer, I would say printer-friendly versions, or printer-friendly versions of the rules and map. I do work full-time, but will try to reply as soon as possible. I would, I don't know if this is necessary here, certainly not in about the project.
And that was one sentence I was like, will I put it in there or not?
And risks and challenges. This is my first Kickstarter campaign. That's why the pledge level is very low. This game is only a print and play, and thus there's no need for a pledge manager. As soon as I receive the funds, I will send an email with a link to the base game, rules, cards, and the first map. As soon as any stretch goals are fully designed and playtested, I will pack those and you will receive a mail for that.
Yeah, it should be all stretch goals, not any. Because that would mean every time I finish one map, I will send an email. But I'm going to send
I
them
assumed
one
that was
package.
what you were going to do, that you will send the maps one at a time. Honestly, that seems like a reasonable way to do it. Like if it takes you
it's possible.
a month to do the first one, it's like, okay, this is finished, and then give yourself a bit of time for each one.
That's true.
Also, so this sentence, I do work full time, but I will try to reply as soon as possible. I would put this into risks and challenges.
Okay.
I would put this paragraph like just above the risks and challenges in the main story section, and I would have it like maybe titled delivery or something, because this is not about the risks and challenges. This is this is about how people are actually going to get it. Risks and challenges should be you acknowledging the risks and making it clear that you've already made a game, that what you've done to lower the risk, you make it clear that you've already done this, that you've already play tested it, that you've already done the graphics, that you've already found a proofreader, you've already gotten a quote, you know the cost of that. Alex says, this is only adjacently relevant, but I read today about some tips to making a good landing page, which is sort of like a starter page, but for businesses. That looks like a really good link. Let me actually click on this. And what I learned roasting 200 landing pages in 12 months. So there's a few tips. It looks quite concise. Yeah, it looks definitely like a thing worth checking out.
Yeah, I'll read it. Thank you, Alex.
I still think that having proofreading as a stretch goal at all sends the wrong sort of message, says Rob. Yeah, that's a thing. Make it clear that you have had friends already proofread through it, but this is for professional proofreading. I would say I don't know, it's a difficult one. I think that there is a danger of sending that wrong message. There is a danger for sure of it being that someone reads that. Oh, that's a good further proofreading. That's a good shout. Yeah. Say if you have further proofreading from if you wanted to name Rachel Mortimer, I would almost say like to the most highly recommended proofreader, because I think of Rachel Mortimer as the best. Paul Grogan thinks of Rachel Mortimer as the best. And so you could say something about further proofreading from Rachel Mortimer, who is considered best in the thing. But if you're going to name someone in the thing, check with Rachel that that's okay with them, because Rachel might feel slightly uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
I think I had a chat with Paul Grogan, who said if you put it in I think Paul Grogan said that if I wanted to have a stretch goal of this thing done by Paul Grogan, then Paul Grogan was actually okay with it being this thing done by Paul Grogan. But what Paul Grogan was not okay with it doing is this how to play tutorial done, and then people get potentially disappointed that it's Paul Grogan. I mean, some people will be happy that it's Paul Grogan, but some people might be hoping for someone else. I don't know. And
yeah, everybody has their preferences.
And so it's a really difficult one, because I understand when you're paying people to do things, you can't always necessarily pay people straight away unless you have the funds to do it, especially in something like this. Rob had the recommendation to tweak this. But
yeah, I just changed it for myself right now.
Yeah, I will try. Yeah, that's true. I will reply to questions and comments as quickly as I can. I think that's a thing. And yeah, put that into risks and challenges. Mentioned that there. Yeah, also talk about what you've done to get to this point. Talk about the preparations that you've done. Talk about the amount of playing and playtesting that you've done in the risks and challenges. I would also say that in Kickstarter, there is the ecological impact thing. I see you haven't filled that bit out.
Yeah, I was like, what can I check out about it?
Well, say
something
that
else.
people only print as much as they need. People can play on a screen if they don't want to print anything. Yeah, by not mass producing, you are actually, you don't want to just be box ticking. The other thing I would say is, if someone sees this and they don't know anything about you, okay, I can see that you've backed 106 things, and that makes me think, okay, this person isn't just, hey, why did it not? That's really weird. What happened? Maybe that's because it is a preview, so maybe that link doesn't work. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's really weird. Anyway, yeah, so someone sees that, they're like, okay, this person at least knows what Kickstarter's about. People who've watched your streams or who are aware of you via Losapalooza, they'll be like, okay, at least Dick Rensema knows what a board game is, and they've got an idea of what a good game is. But I think that okay, I see that you are making a lot of changes just now. So I think there's arguments for having like a little about me page bits just at the bottom. Yeah. I know not everyone reads it, and some people think it's superfluous. Okay, let's look at it again. Oh, if you are changing it, I honestly feel like
I'm not changing. I'm taking notes, and I couldn't find pen and paper, so I'm typing it in a notepad.
Oh. I thought you changed it because you've already changed.
Some things I already changed, but big sections like an about me and everything, that's just too large to change on the fly.
But honestly, this Marky Mark thing, that's the biggest thing I would say. Have you thoughts about like reviews or anything like that, or other people playing, or?
I mean,
no,
I've just asked for quotes for people from people who played the game.
So the big thing that's missing here is really the image, and the sad thing is to say that the image is going to be the first thing that's really drawing people in. When they, especially this thumbnail at the top, that's what people are going to see when you paste the link on Facebook. That's what people are going to see if they see something where they can sign up before the project launches. That's what people are going to see if they're browsing Kickstarter. And so that is almost like the key
Yeah,
thing.
I'm working on that this weekend, so that should be done by the end of the weekend. And since I have a Monday off, I mean by the end of Monday, because I have a birthday that I need to go to tomorrow.
Honestly, if I didn't know you, I don't know. The only thing here that would make me want to investigate it a bit more is the Marky Mark quote. Because I'm like, whoa, someone really loves this so much. Okay, maybe I should check it out. I do actually like the theme, genuinely. Yeah, like my quote, it's like a bit long and restrained. Like it's a quote that
Yeah,
I
I
gave you,
might go
but
for the last sentence about the storage resources.
like you could also split it into two if you wanted, like have one up top and because this second sentence feels like it could be good at the top, and then the second sentence may be down in the about DutchYoda bit. But yeah, it doesn't feel like anything is really pulling me in. It doesn't feel bad. It feels good. It feels like, but I don't know. I'm finding it quite hard to give constructive criticism. So what are you feeling right now? Do you have any? Could there be a stretch goal to make a Game Crafter version available? Asks Alex.
I haven't
Thoughts on
thought
this,
of it.
Yoda?
I haven't thought of it. I was thinking about maybe when all the stretch goals are designed to put it on PNP Arcade as two separate packages, base game and then the collection of Kickstarters of stretch goals. That was what I was thinking, but
Yeah,
it
Game
didn't make.
Crafter is kind of. I mean, it's up to you. Is it extra work for no points? Are people actually going to be excited? I mean, that's kind of like a stretch goal that then gives Yoda more work to do, but doesn't give a backer any more actual content. Like as a backer, I would be more excited by Dutch. I would be more excited by having some sort of okay, we play through this game like a bonus stream. Like maybe that's a thing. Like yeah, a short bonus video where you play along with me, and something like that, and then everyone compares their scores in the video afterwards. I think that would be, if you had something like that as a YouTube video, like obviously it can be Twitch first and then YouTube, but I'm imagining something that's quite short. I would be actually genuinely excited about that. I would be somewhat interested in a new map because I think, hey, new map, great. But as a backer, I'm thinking, the other thing you could do is you could make your stretch goals into things that people vote for. Like you could just say every 20 euros we're going to have a new thing, and maybe all of these are, sorts of quite similar in amount of work or cost, very broadly speaking. I mean, I guess the new maps are kind of a bit more work, but you could say, okay, every 20 euros, we're going to choose from something, and the first choice will be one of these options, either the further proofreading by the top professional or the new map or a video in this manner. And then the second one, you can do the two things that people didn't. Alex makes a good point. Remember, that's not everyone's me. Yeah, don't always listen to me. Some people would appreciate that they could get a professional copy of the game if they like it, and that they've helped bring a game to fruition, says Alex.
I'll think about it. You have a good point.
And if you have polls, if you are genuinely listening to people, then I think that's a good way to build engagement and build comments and say, hey, like I think it's always good to have a first couple of hours updates if you can, to say, hey, we're launched. Thank you for the first few people who've backed it. Looking forward to seeing how it goes. If we manage to get to the stretch goal, then these are the options. This is my plan for the thing. And yeah, puts in the options and let people vote for them. Also, that's really good for the algorithm. Then maybe more people will see it on Kickstarter itself.
Good plans.
Risks and challenges. You might also want to say, why are you doing it on Kickstarter? Like, why do you need money at all for a print and play edition? And maybe you can say, okay, this is to, you could say that this Kickstarter is to help fund the effort and gauge interest to see what's going to be later. I don't know. So that seems like the truth of it, but maybe I'm projecting here.
Yeah, but people have issues if you say, well, it will help me fund the next thing. So you have to be careful how you word it, because technically,
because it's not about funding the next thing. It's about gauging interest for future maps, like the stretch goals. Like that's not funding the next thing. That's making it even better via Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's true. Improve it and make sure that my time isn't wasted for nothing.
Like for sure, if 20 people back it, then maybe that's a reason to get a map. If not that many people back it, then maybe you don't want to, I don't know. Yeah, it's...
I totally understand.
I do agree with Rob. Definitely Party Planner, a flip and write game. Are you, and then I would let me actually rewrite this slightly. One of the things I've learned, during this pandemic is that, do you need something I've learned during the past year? Do you need to have during this pandemic? I don't know, maybe it's we are energized, we get energy from
maybe
being around others.
Past year is less negative.
During something I've learned during 2020 is that we are a social species. We get energy from being around others. This is the premise of Party Planner. Get people together and spread happiness. I'm just going to paste that into all the comments as a thing. And hello, Designer Cardboard, who's joining us, I believe, from pretty much the other side of the world. I hope you're having a good night, evening so far. I don't know what time it is. But yeah, their question was, wouldn't it be cool if it was a wedding planner theme? And, you know, with the new map, that could be one of the new maps for sure.
Yeah.
Because, it could be all sorts of different parties. That's the idea behind the new map. It might be worth also asking people what kind of new map they want. And maybe for stretch goals, I would honestly say, hey, here are some things that I'm planning to do, but I want to get your input. And if people vote for a new map, it could be like, hey, do you want the horror themed one? Do you want the wedding party themed one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Designer Cardboard also says, don't mention the pandemic.
Yeah. I'm gonna change that.
I think about the game. Yeah, definitely. I would say have this short thing, then have a picture or two here, maybe the quotes, have Marky Mark's thing. The Marky Mark's thing is like, oh, this is quite cool. Then have about the game and how to play seems like a good thing. And then maybe, yeah, I would say about the project, I would, especially because this is such a humble Kickstarter, I would expect to see, frankly, not a lot of text, but like a few pictures and links to say, hey, this started off with a, like, these were my inspirations. I started off, like, you can't even mention it, saying it started off as a New Orleans roll and write attempt for Idle Michael's game, and then it quickly became its own thing. During playtest, it's evolved like so, and he made new maps and such.
Yeah.
And with this, also do have pictures, have like maybe a tiny like picture of yeah, you could have a picture. I don't know, would you have a picture of, I guess you could have a picture of New Orleans, like just like if you have a horizontal thing, I would almost be tempted to say, okay, a little bit of New Orleans and then a picture of Idle Michael, and like these are your inspirations, if you know what I mean, and how it became. And then at the end, like a picture of the physical thing as it currently is. Because yeah, it is a bit I get that there's going to be images here, but even with that, it is very text heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like, but is there anything else that you wanted to chat about?
No, that's about it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna focus now on finishing this Kickstarter page, but I'm already working on 2 other designs because, like I think I mentioned it 2 weeks ago that Edo was doing a designer challenge, and I got another mail for a designer challenge that's starting soon as well. Not sure if I'm gonna send both designs to the same the same design to both contests or just make 2 different designs yet. But I'm actually working on one right now. I don't have the prototype near me, but well, maybe another time I can hop in your show and show off what I have done so far.
This is yeah, the link in case any new folk want to pop in. I've got to say, I really like what Alex wrote. What is better than spending time with your friends and family? This is the premise of Party Planner. Get people together and spread happiness.
I'm copy pasting it right now. I'm copy pasting it in my notepad. So
I don't think you need the word your in that sentence. I would say
with friends and family.
Yeah. What is better than spending time with friends and family? I do like yeah. This feels like a really good introductory line. And I do like the whole thing about, okay, I've learned that we are a social species and we get energy from being around other people. It does sound like I can sort of totally, it sounds a lot more like something you'd say. Like, this is kind of sad. Sometimes you do need to be a slightly different version of yourself, if you know what I mean. And like the same way that when I'm sitting down on my laptop, I'm not normally talking all the time. I don't feel the need to fill in every second with some sort of noise or singing or speech. But still it reflects you. And in the same way, sometimes you do want to get input from other people and just copy things. Or let me actually like that. So this is by Alex, and like the story feels like that could still be there. Sorry, I know story is what Kickstarter writes, and that's not your word at all. But that paragraph that you've already got feels like it could still exist, parts of it, but later down where you've got how this game came to be, something like that. The about project and delivery, collapse it. But it feels like, honestly, you have to be genuinely okay with 10 people backing it and being like, yes, I got this. And
I will be.
I mean, if you are, then I think, this is shaping up to be really
I already
nice,
know more than 10 people that will back it, but still.
Now, I was do you want to? I just wanted to float the idea. I'm not saying that this is the right thing to do, but I just wanted to float the idea of what if the pledge is a €1 pledge, because then it becomes just that much more of a no-brainer for strangers.
Yeah, I was thinking about one or two, but I could do one.
Because, like, it's always an interesting one, because I do get the reluctance to do something for so little. I think with In a Bind, I can't actually remember. With In a Bind, I might have done it at free, which in retrospect I would definitely not do again. But Kickstarter, let me. Okay, so if I
bright again,
yeah, and I had 38 backers for a £3 print and play version. But honestly, what I would have done in retrospect would be saying, okay, £1 low quality print and play, and just call it low quality so that I don't have to feel compelled to do like the best possible layout of things.
I could do €1 for just the printer friendly versions.
Could be. You could have €1 for the printer friendly version and £3 for the full color versions. Sorry, €3.
Yeah.
And you could have back a low quality project, says Rob. That sounds €2 is peanuts, says Rob. You don't need to reduce, in my opinion. Alex says it depends. Do you think that 50% or more of people will be put off by the extra euro? From a financial perspective, do you think you will get twice as many backers if it is just €1?
I have no idea. That's something I will find out.
I mean, I would be interested in seeing that experiment, like just a 1 and a 3 euro thing. That's can't remember. I say stick with 2, says Alex.
Okay.
It can be difficult trying to get. I'm actually. Just a second. What did I? So for yeah, for categorical, yeah, I think so. I had €1, £1 versions for the Kitty Cataclysm stickers. I had a terrible quality Comic Sans print and play file, so I called it terrible quality. It's not terrible. It's just basically Comic Sans, and the pictures were in black and white. Yeah, note that and I got free backers for that. I got 20 free backers for the sticker pack, which I thought might be the most popular thing. Even more stickers, twice as many stickers for £3, and a high quality print and play for, and yeah, unique. So, and a lot more stickers, £10, and yeah, 20 backers who actually wanted to pay for the physical games. This was almost like an experiment when I think about it. It seems like I'm actually going to see if I can show you the behind the scenes bit. Where's my... Why can't I show you my... there's the menu. Let me make sure that I don't show any confidential information.
Yeah, that wouldn't be okay.
And okay, there we go. Reward popularity. So there's a nice little graph that is exactly the same information. But yeah, 2% chose no rewards, which is really interesting for me. 2% chose to pay £2, but didn't want to pay back the £1 pledge. Then this one, 7% of money raised. 17% of money raised was a lot more stickers, and 60% of money raised was physical games, also for £15 more, which was very interesting for me. I think I expected this one to be the most popular, because if you care about the stickers, it's £2 for stickers versus £3 for twice as many stickers. But again, it shows that people aren't always, necessarily thinking about most things. And hello, Julian. It's lovely to see you. We are just I'm helping Yoda today. There's a bit of mentorship and talking about Yoda's new game, which is going to go on Kickstarter, and talking about how people pledge on things and how people back things. And yeah, thank you very much for popping in. Actually, Alex, if you could do a wee shout out to Jolin, who's an amazing pianist. So yeah, if you could do a wee thing, then I would very much appreciate that. Now, looking at my other thing for categorical, where I had £1 version was only 8 backers. £5 version, which is you pay and then someone else gets it. I got 28 backers. The £14, which was you get it, 103 backers, and £49, which a whole bunch of people gets it, as in you get 4 copies, I think it was. And I still need to finish this game. This is my sort of active Kickstarter in that I still have to deliver this. Yeah, it's really interesting how the £1 version doesn't actually attract people like I thought it would for whatever reason. But yeah, that is the thing. Alex says, I feel it's quite bare at the moment. Even with images, I'd like a paragraph that gives an overview of the gameplay, a summary of how different maps change the game, and a section saying why it's a really good game. Yeah, that's a really good shout.
I made it. The overview of the gameplay is is mostly through. I'm gonna try to do it with animated images. So if that doesn't work well, I will still create images, but probably add some more text to it.
Honest, like looking at my categorical Kickstarter, I probably had reasons to back this Kickstarter a bit high. I mean, a bit low. And I don't think people should do reasons to not play it. But that's kind of what I've started doing just because I feel it's kind of my style. It's kind of like, yes, I don't want people to.
True.
But honestly, if you look at Alley Cat games, they do a really good job of Tinner's Trail. There's a recent Kickstarter from them. So
Dice Theme Park is right now from them, right?
yeah, that's true also. But that's got two things. Have like images, but like even though you don't have maybe as many reviews, having this quote, yeah, I love this game from Marky Mark. That's a really good quote. Having a few pictures, having why it's good, having a wee bit about it. Then yeah, this is okay. Then they have reasons to back. This kind of saying this is really good, and then it's okay. This is what you get for your money, and this is how to play, and all those things. And yeah, the logistics of how you can pledge, whether the pledge manager will happen, and then a wee bit about the team, which I think they've got. I think this text is too hard to read, frankly. I think this is yeah. And
not the best font they used.
Well, yeah, I think that I actually slightly prefer the, well, I might be Welcome to Dino World. That's not what I meant to click on. Welcome to Dino World Kickstarter. Even though I'm biased because I wrote parts of this, I feel like, yeah, hey, this is what's here. What's awesome about this game? Boom, 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 boom. This is how to play. And yeah, great quote. And now it's all about the game. Obviously, you can make it a lot shorter. You're not asking people to pledge more so much, but yeah,
I'm also thinking about every header is an image as well. Just to make it more playful and not basically text.
Rob says there's a big difference between pay more and get an improved version and pay less and get a worse version. Yeah, I am not very good at writing my marketing copy.
Pay nothing
for myself.
Nothing.
I'm better at doing that for other people because yeah. But yeah, 100% agreed. Have both images. Hello, Robin. It's lovely to see you, and thank you for joining us. And it's all good. I'm sorry that I didn't respond to that. And Robin says that layout reminds me of Tiny Epic Games, and they have very successful Kickstarters. And yeah, once more, I am going to, if people would like to look along on their own screens, and then this is what we're looking at, which is Dick Rensema, which is DutchYoda's real name, first ever project. But seriously, I mean, this
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna
such a
put
good
it.
quote. Get this up.
Yeah, he said it during the stream a couple of week or 2 or 4 weeks ago, and I automatically said, "I'm gonna quote you on my page."
And so, yeah, is there anything else that you'd like to discuss?
No.
Well, in theory, this is our final kind of meeting. I don't know how
Yeah.
many times it's been. Actually,
We
slightly
started
curious. How many would you
some.
guess? I would guess 6.
Yeah, I was 6 or 7.
One. Yeah, I think it's what? Oh no, wait. We met before the game jam. Meeting Dick Rensema. Okay, that doesn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Apparently, this
Hey.
is the 8th one.
Ooh.
We first, and that doesn't include the first time when we were meeting and establishing your stuff back in the 16th of January. That is when it all started. It was
Feels
so
like ages.
it has been a while. I didn't realize that had been so long. Wow, that's February, March, April, May. 4 months.
Oh yeah,
Well,
twice a month, so it makes sense.
an average, yeah. I mean, 1 month had 5 weeks, and 1 month I was doing my game jam, so we didn't meet.
And I had one time that I wasn't feeling all too good, so
I think, oh yeah, I think that might have still been on my calendar because I changed it on the stream, but not on the calendar, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
So yeah, I think this might only be the 7th. But anyway, I feel like you've done a really good job with this game. It's a shame that you don't have the images. I just cannot overstate, sadly, the importance of images. And I
I
got
know.
this advice. I'm going to just give a shout out to Vince, Lucky Duck Games, who kind of told me that whether Couple does well or not is going to be very, very much down to the quality of the box cover. And I think that it's different for print and play games because obviously a print and play game, you're not releasing it in an actual shop, and you also have a lower funding goal in mind.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're actually mass producing something, you're aiming for at least 1,000, and you want to produce ideally 10,000 to really hit the big time. But yeah, to actually get it to be big. But then the question, obviously, there's a difference in how good it has to be, but I do still believe that the quality of the graphics, the quality of the lead title graphic is going to have more to do with the end results than the words.
Yeah,
I
I
would say
understand.
that there are, of course, many groups, and if you would like, I can paste some links to some. There's the Facebook tabletop game Kickstarter advice. There's the Kickstarter best practices group on Facebook, which is very much about making board games on Kickstarter. And there's also arts and graphic design, which I think it wouldn't be unreasonable to say, hey, this is the image that I've got for this thing. What do you think of this? Do you have any simple advice?
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of colleagues, but yeah, their expertise is of course web design, designing websites and user-friendly things. So they look at it at that point. So when I show a new map, it's like, is it clear? Does it make sense where I put everything? And that's the only time I get a yes or a no, but not like it's just pretty enough or something like that.
I'm actually just going to paste these links into the chat. And Designer Cardboard says, the hero image grabs the initial attention.
Yeah. So I'm not happy with how that one is right now. So I'm definitely not going to show you yet. But I am thinking on how to improve it.
I mean,
but I'm
I
not
don't
going
know.
to
I would encourage you to show us, because
No.
it is a kind of nope.
Nope. I'm probably going to redo it anyway, so no, it's not worth showing yet.
Okay.
But you will see. Currently, I have the Kickstarter set on starting June 8th. That's a Tuesday, I believe. I wanted to do June 1st. Then they said, well, you need at least 8 business days in between. Then, okay, I will move it 1 week.
Why do you pick June 1st or 8th, out of curiosity?
Well, June 1st because it was the first of the month. Then they said, well, you have to still do your payment and everything, which I thought I did, but I didn't apparently. So I entered that, and then I said, well, okay, I'll skip it 1 week. There's no special reason for June 8th or anything.
I would say that all of this is very much up to you. And I do want to make it clear that, so the groups that I linked you to, the first one's the arts and graphic design, then there's the Kickstarter best practices and Kickstarter advice. And I would recommend very much sharing the top one, your images with the Kickstarter arts and graphic design, and show the Kickstarter page when it's ready with the other 2 groups.
Yeah.
I think that, but do remember, you don't have to do everything perfectly. I understand you do have a full-time job, you do have limited time, but by showing people something before it's finished, you can hopefully get an idea of where to more efficiently spend your time on. And that's the key thing, because it's not just, okay, do half of everything. Sometimes spending a bit more energy on one thing and a bit less energy on a different thing might actually improve the overall project. But whatever you end up with, it's totally okay. And I want to just commend you and congratulate you on getting as far as you have. I think that the game itself is solid. I think that it's definitely got quite a lot of interesting bits about it. Designer Cardboard says, put the most work into that. I assume you're talking about the hero image. The rest are secondary, and puts a photo of the game laid out on the table as the second image down the page. Just my opinion, how I will do it when I finally get around to it. Kudos to you for getting this far. And yes, kudos to you, because getting this far for a first Kickstarter, and it's not just something that you put together. This actually represents a lot of work. This represents a lot of playtesting. Yes, it represents, talk about how many years you've been in the playing tabletop games, how many years you've been working in the tabletop game industry as a reviewer. Talk about yourself. Say, oh yes, I mean, actually, where's my banner?
I don't know.
Where it's got Dutch Yoda really started. Yoda really started collecting games in 2016. You've written and done board game reviews for Budget Spellin' for how long?
3 or 4 years now, I think.
So yes, you've been a Dutch reviewer for 3 or 4 years. That's something that I think it's good to mention, because you don't get through 3 or 4 years without having an inkling of, yes, this is a good game and my game is going to actually be good enough to stand alongside other published games. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you are just a nobody coming into it. And yes, some people are aware of that, and the game itself, it's got actually quite a few people playtesting it. It's like, you can, I would say, reach out to Michael. If you've not, have you already reached out to Michael for a quote?
Not for a quote, so I could do
because,
that.
And also the other thing I would say, someone actually said this. If you ask people, hey, can you give me a quote? Then they will sometimes give you like something that's a little bit stilted, a little bit weird. But if you say, hey, what did you think about this game? What did you like about it? And is there anything about it that you think I should improve, or do you think it's ready for Kickstarter right now? Like just as a sanity check. But then, like, I know there's an argument that this might be disingenuous, but then after you get Michael or whoever saying, hey, this is what's my favorite thing about it, I love the comborific nature of it, then say, hey, can I use that as a quote? And and then the other person might say yes, or they might say, oh, let me change like this couple of words. And then, but yeah, you've got a lot of illustrious, talented people who've, like, Michael, who's been playing this game, like a lot of people who've been supporting you and playing it for a while. Yeah, exactly. Definitely reach out to Michael, for gosh sake.
I will.
Awesome. Well, oh my gosh, this feels kind of weird, because even though I'm going to have you back on the show, when is it? In 2 weeks?
I think it's 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, we're discussing media making and what. Yeah, I think I still need to write the full description for that. It's not to my calendar, but hopefully Anna might be back there, and yeah, with the group of ourselves and Anna Vassenberg and Matt Warwick and oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Please help me.
Antoinette.
Antoinette Mason, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Antoinette. Many apologies. Antoinette is super lovely tabletop Inquisition. But yeah. So even though, we're still going to be friends, even though you can still, reach out to me, and I will have time, like, kind of, try and make time. But this is our last official thing. So,
it's done.
Aw, hug. Hug.
This way.
Hug. Oh.
I'm almost off screen.
Virtual hug. But
yeah,
it has genuinely been enjoyable seeing this thing coming up and building up. Well done on everything. I don't know how to finish this.
I don't know. It was, I learned a lot. I'm very grateful for that.
You're very welcome. And yes, I've got literally all my shows planned out for the next 1, 2 and a bit weeks until I get my special episode 400 extravaganza. And then I am not streaming for at least in the mornings for at least 3 weeks. And yep. But yeah, let me actually move on to recap and wrap up.
Yeah.
I didn't really write many notes. We started off talking about the origins of the mentorship and how it all went on, with like the game being originated from Orléans at IdleCon, and then Matthew Dunstan was chatting about mentorship, and then we had a chat in my Matthew Dunstan stream about, hey, I would be up for having someone come onto my stream, and then you did, and you were like a guinea pig. And so this is like, yeah, public mentorship sort of thing. And then we chatted about me playing Keyforge and new prototypes, and you chatting about 18NL, or rather 18 Chesapeake. And we had some Dutch pronunciation. We talked about eggs disappearing into the ceiling. We talked about, yeah, that was a really weird one. What would you do if there was an egg right now? Hello, Scrappy Kid. Lovely to see you. I hope that you're generally well. And yes, shout out, please, if you can, Rob, to Scrappy Kid, who I am going to be playing a game with this afternoon. But
what you playing?
We are probably going to be playing the latest game on Board Game Arena, which is, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Happy City. I do not know how it plays. I know nothing about it except that it's Happy City. I know I'm probably going to read the rules very quickly before the stream, but if you two don't want to read the rules, that's absolutely okay. You don't have to. And I will try and vaguely explain it as we go along. Anyway, we are going to play that and maybe merchandise. Happy City apparently takes 9 minutes, so we'll play it a couple of times with me, Scrappy Kid, and Grace Kendall from the Tabletop Mentorship Program. And also shout out to Grace Kendall, who does run, along with Mike Bell Soul, probably the best mentorship program in the board games industry. So this is just a lovely, lovely thing where you get some really amazing people as mentors, like Rob Harper, and you know, who's in the chat, and yeah, just everyone is there ready to share their knowledge. And I've been a mentee. I've had a chat with Matt Fantastic. I've been a mentor. I signed up to be a mentor for 2 people this time, and we'll see how that goes. I've picked a couple of people that it's like, oh, wow, these people have got really exciting projects, and I would love to help them potentially enable it as best I can. But yeah, shout out to all those people. Yeah, then we chatted about the Kickstarter, we chatted about, yeah, Party Planner and how that's going, and massive congratulations on getting it as far as you have. We gave some suggestions for improving it beyond just adding the images, and then we kind of said, that's the end. And whilst I would love to chat with you for, you know, forever, just have you in my back pocket, or maybe on my shoulder, I don't know. Or maybe in the box, you know, if you like, I know you're a bit big, like a little miniature Dutch Yoda.
Well, I got a miniature Yoda. Well, not actually, it's Yoda.
Yeah, but that's not you.
No, true.
I mean,
and it's
like,
not Yoda, it's Grogu, but still. Closest thing I have.
But yeah, that is that. Do you have anything else that you want to do? I don't get this. I'm not sure what melody this is meant to be. Or do 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 do, or do do. No,
I have no idea.
Or do do do. If you were trying to do the Cantina theme, that would be.
Oh, baby Yoda, do 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 do,
Baby Yoda, do 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 do.
Why has nobody done that a video for that? Just redo Baby Shark into Baby Yoda.
Okay, yeah. Rob gets me. Poor guy. Oh man. Oh, okay. Is there anything else that you think we should say during the recap?
No. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing to add.
Well, if you want to check me out, I am stuffbybez.com, stuffbybez.bigcartel.com, twitter.com/stuffbez, instagram.com/stuffbez, twitch.tv/stuffbez, where I am streaming at 10 a.m. UK time every day, and also 4 p.m. UK time on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays currently. And also YouTube has the old episodes, and Tuesdays I stream at 8 p.m. UK time. Join stuffbybez.com/discord. And yeah, also check out the L deck. I am going to give a direct link to the competition post. Please enter. Please join, retweet the competition. You need to write a pun and retweet it, and then you will get a specially customized version of the box. I mean, I'm very happy to sign things at a convention, but I don't normally spend, 20 minutes drawing a thing that the person requests, which is what I will do if you manage to win this competition. So if you want to check out Yoda, then where do you like to be found?
I am getting active on Twitter again, so I will show up on twitter.com/DutchYoda plays. Instagram, same thing, DutchYoda plays. On Twitch, it's just DutchYoda. And I will be streaming this evening. I will be playing Marvel United with my son, so it will be a Dutch stream or a Netherlandish stream. And yeah, if you can read Netherlandish, you should go to budgetspelen.nl, where I have reviews and some other people that I know do reviews as well, and the latest news on Dutch gaming, Netherlandish gaming, sorry.
I have never read anything by you or Anna Vassenberg, like, that I can think of. I've watched videos from both of you in English.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to think. Have you ever written a review in English?
Yeah, I started videos in
written.
February. Yeah, I did videos in February 2020, and before that, I did everything. I wrote it.
Okay.
I've written everything, and I just put an article on it last Friday. It's about the current Kickstarter and what's on Kickstarter, what should you back. So I already have a page that I write every 2 weeks, so I can put my own Kickstarter on it.
Alex says, well, I read the Kickstarter page, didn't I? I mean, yeah, and I also read rules that were written by Yoda, but I mean that I haven't read a review by Yoda. I've never read a review by Anna. I've watched a review by Anna, and I was just going to say, based on Anna's spoken review, I imagine the written Dutch reviews would also be good.
Yeah, I don't think Anna has written anything.
Can you speak Dutch, Robin? But
spreekt u Nederlands?
Spreekt u Nederlands? How do you say no? Is it niet? No, that niet.
That's Russian. Niet.
No. Nu.
Nee.
Nee. Nee. Hey, I can say nee now. I can say no in Dutch.
And yes is ja.
I don't need to remember that.
You're going to say no to everything.
Well, I could make the kind of. Anyway, it's now over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. This is the end of the stream, and I like to always ask everyone else, what are you up to after this stream finishes? I am personally going to write up descriptions for future streams. That's going to be my #1 priority, so that those can be put together, and need to sort out some things for definitely the week ahead, but Also, I want to get a couple of games onto Board Game Geek. I definitely want to have some breakfast/lunch. I'm not sure what I will have. Potentially, maybe
An egg appears. What happens?
an egg. I might have an egg actually in instant noodles. I might do that. And yeah, of course, I'm going to be streaming. But before we talk about that, how is everyone? What is everyone else doing? And Robin says Robin does not speak Dutch. They speak English on the stream. Robin took some German and it's very similar, but that wouldn't get me much further than what you just said. What Scrappy Kid is mooching, then doing a 100 follower celebration stream. My gosh,
I never did
what
that.
is that?
I never did my 100 follower
I have never done a celebration stream for any milestones or 1 year anniversary. I do milestones for the every 100 busy board game, like every 100 morning streams, which is kind of similar. And I do invite people to join me every Friday, so I hope that people understand that I value them. But yeah, what time is that, Scrappy? Yeah, let us know what time. Remind us. 2 p.m. UK time, so that is in just 2.5 hours. Rob is planning on having a thorough read through Jess's Small Games Big Theme materials and seeing if it gets any ideas going. That sounds fantastic. I think it's still a week until the design parts officially starts, correct? Like right now they're still soliciting ideas for themes, so it's activist themes. If you feel like you are able to suggest a theme for a game, then get in on it. Correct me if I'm wrong with the dates. Alex is setting up a schedule for some community events for a Board Game Geek design contest. I think that sounds wonderful. And sorry, Yoda.
Well, I already mentioned that I'm going to do the graphical work for my Kickstarter page. I need to help my son with a project for geography. And I have a stream later today, a Dutch stream, a Netherlandish stream. So, and then my day is fully planned. But first, I'm gonna eat some lunch because my stomach is saying it needs something.
And Rob says design part starts now. I am going to dissent. Let's see if this link works. I'm going to shout that out on all the places. I'm going to assume that, yeah, Rob's link is probably the correct one. So let me actually, thank you, Rob, for that correct link. Let me actually, I do apologize, share the correct link a second time. So yes, everyone who's interested in making games, I am actually definitely going to check that out, but I'm going to write my descriptions first because I need to do that, and I'll do that and lunch and nothing else until I've done that thing. And then, of course, if you want to check out my future streams, check out stuffbybed.com/streams. As I mentioned, 4 p.m. So in 4.5 hours, so 2 hours after Scrappy Kid's stream, we are going to be playing Happy City with me and Scrappy Kid and Grace Kendall and maybe also Martian Dice, which I'm not a big... It's a bit too much luck for my tastes, but it's kind of something that you can converse over, which is kind of nice, and it'll be interesting to chat about the game. But it was just an idea, and it's very much up to the people involved how they're feeling. And then tomorrow I'm playing some Root. Monday, I am Musical Shenanigans. Tuesday, I'm meeting Tim Burrell-Saward, who was a designer for Beasts of Balance and also Return to the Dark Tower, the recent one by Restoration Games. And that's going to be a really good discussion. and we're going to be chatting about digital stuff, and then all sorts of things on Tuesday. Check that out. Share, spread the word. I am going to be checking very quickly on Twitch to see who to raid. See, that's the thing. No board gamers. Can't even see. Let me actually find. I'll go for Ben Smith UK Music, who is streaming, and I was just introduced to them earlier today by Amadeus, and so they seem to have a decent energy and are playing music. Please do chuck the raid thing in there, copy paste that message, and that is the end. Once more, thank you everyone. Lots of love, lots of appreciation. Thank you, Yoda, for being my guinea pig. It has been such a delight the past few months. Thank you, everyone in chat. It is always lovely to have you. Any final words from you, Yoda?
Go back it on Kickstarter when it's ready.
Bye, 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 bye. This is the bye-bye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Rob.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye, Robin. Bye-bye, Scrappy. Bye-bye, Alex. Bye-bye, Designer Cardboard. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, Yoda.
Bye-bye.
What? Fair. Terrible rock. Oh. Oh. Oh, oh my gosh. Do you get this? Do you get this pun, Yoda?
I'm guessing it's on the try. There is no try.
No, a buy. Oh, but yeah, but also a try. Anyway, yeah. Bye-bye.
Just click right now. Then you're done.